Okay, so last week it came out that Cody and Brandy Rhodes had departed AEW, and immediately the rumors started swirling that Cody was going back to WWE. Brandy probably not so much, but Cody for sure. And I mean, where else would he go? You know, I think we've got another scenario like a Drew McIntyre, right? Got cut from the company, left, got jacked. Cody's gotten bigger since then, right? Made a name for himself somewhere else and then came back. Same thing. I don't know if he ever really intended to go back per se, but I think when things aren't working out for you, you start looking around, and where else would he go but WWE? I mean, sure, maybe NWA, but probably not. Maybe NJPW because he did very well there, but probably not. I mean, who's going to pay him what he wants to get paid but WWE? And I want to touch a little bit on when he could be coming back because I know that's what everyone's talking about, and we want to discuss that here as well. And I'm going to read a little bit from thesportster.com. This came out a little bit earlier here. Edge issuing a challenge for WrestleMania Open Challenge. And right here we have the heading phenomenal, demon, undeniable. Edge spoke to the camera and dropped words like phenomenal and demon, hints that the person to step up to his challenge might be AJ Styles or Finn Balor. AJ Styles, of course, just re-signed, a very big deal there as well, as it was reported, which good for him. However, the hint that stood out above the others was the mention of undeniable and smoke and mirrors. Very deliberate reference to Rhodes. If the former AEW star really is coming back to WWE, a WrestleMania match against the rated R superstar certainly sounds like the sort of thing that would have tempted him to sign. I agree. I think that's a very tempting one, especially after the last couple of years Edge has had. I mean, yeah, of course. The Rhodes saga has been fascinating thus far, and whether he really is re-signing with the WWE or not, the company is certainly having fun with it, to the point that it seems he will almost definitely show up sometime, otherwise there wouldn't be so many overt references to him. I agree. Like Rhodes or not, if and when he does show up, it will be a huge moment. That I also agree with as well. Here's what I'm thinking, though. Cody Rhodes is about to get paid. First off, he's not going to go back to the WWE without a very big deal. He's just not. Second of all, here's the big thing that I think a lot of people, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about that. You may have thought of this or whatever, but Cody has his own logo, the Nightmare Family logo. It's trademarked and it is tattooed on his neck. They can't cover it up. If they want to make t-shirts with that logo on it, if they want to make video game characters, include Cody in a video game, which they do, if they want to make Cody Rhodes action figures, which they do, they are going to have to license that logo from him. Now, that may be included in his deal or not, but I think Cody, being the businessman that he is going to make sure that they license that logo through him, meaning that Cody is going to get paid his royalties for the merchandise, and he's going to get paid that licensing fee as well. I think he's going to get paid. I think it's a big part of the decision why he decided to even go back to WWE in the first place, because let's face it, WWE's merchandising wing is the part of the company that works the best. Definitely right now, probably has been the case since the first LJN figures rolled off the, I would say assembly line, but they were just one piece factory line back in 1984. They are a merchandise company. That's where they make the majority of their money. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I mean, you could talk about pay-per-view sales. You could talk about ticket sales. You could talk about licensing fees. And you know what? You know what? Now that I think about it, sure, licensing fees probably. But then again, I mean, that's only here in the U.S. or local to each country. They sell that merchandise all over the world. All over the world. So I think he's going to do really well. And I say good for him. I don't have a preference on which wrestling company I like better between WWE and AEW. Personally, I mean, if you really want to know, I prefer a little bit of what AEW is doing right now. But I also recognize that that could change and probably will change over the course of however many years. It's just going to happen. It's just the way it's going to be. Um, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on the situation with Cody leaving AEW, going to WWE. What you think about his whole logo merchandising deal? And yeah, just comment below or hit me up on Twitter again at Grant L Fletcher on Twitter.